Jake Mulraney, thank you very much for coming down and jumping on the podcast.
Thank you, boys. Thanks for having me.
So we always kick off with our opening tradition, which is a question from our last guest, which was Nina, Pat and Jean. So Lee will run you through that.
Yeah, so Nina for Life is a suicide awareness group that's set up in Kingswood. And the question that they left, take this whatever way you want, go in any direction you want with it. But the question was, what are you going to do to make a difference? Nice easy question for you to start off.
Getting all philosophical early on, yeah.
I think I'd go down the route with me little one probably. With me kids. Try and I don't know, to be honest, like it is a hard question, but to make the best difference to me kids' lives, I don't know, I think I'd just try teach them some of the stuff that I've gone through personally, whether it'd be whatever kind of situation, family, friends, faith, school, anything like that. Just try and pass on my experiences to her and make difference in my kids' lives.
What age is your daughter now at the moment?
She's 4.
She's 4.
4.
How's that been the last 4 years with her?
Like I say to everyone, like, it's so hard to explain. Unless you have kids yourself, like the love you have for your kid it's mad, yeah.
Deadly. Right, now we've the formalities out of the way, we can talk about some more pressing issues. Can't have them on. I know this is going to be going out later on, but at the time of recording, it's Wednesday 15th of November. 3 days ago, Sunday 12th of November, Jake and St. Pat's won the FAI Cup. So firstly, Jake, congratulations.
Thanks, boys.
Two assists.
Just a handy day at the office. Going into the game, I'm just curious, like, obviously it's such a big game in Ireland, that cup final. Like, was there nerves from your end going into it or from the team overall? I know you finished above Bows in the league, so was it a game you went into kind of expecting to win, or did you think it would be tight enough and it would take maybe a bit of luck or whatever else?
Yeah, I think cup finals are always 50-50.
Yeah.
I know we had beat them a couple of weeks previous, but like I say, cup finals it's 50-50, boys. I think they're a good side. The game we played a couple of weeks against them, they were probably the better side first half.
Yeah.
But yeah, going into it, there was nerves. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, there was. The night before, woke up to go to the toilet and took me about an hour to go back to sleep. just the game. Honestly, boys, it's mad. Like, just thinking, right, if I'm in this situation, what am I going to do? If I lose the ball here, if I do this, if I do that, and like your brain just goes mad.
All the little details,
and then you're checking your phone, it's 45 an hour minute like later.
Yeah.
But but leading up to the game, like the night before was worse than the lead up to the actual game. Like in the change room and all, before music's on, I'm alright. Said me prayer, I'm good to go really.
Yeah.
And I'm okay then.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? Like, because I get nervous, so I have to ring up like the Chinese or
Yeah.
I'd be overthinking it. Thinking like down to play in front of 43,000 people. Like, what's you were saying the night before was worse than the actual day. Like, when you wake up that morning, cup final day, like, what's that morning and afternoon like up until the moment where you step on the pitch for kick-off? Take us through that sort of.
So we're up, I think it was 8:30, up for breakfast 8:30. And go back, chill for an hour. Then we went for a little walk. Went for a meeting. Pre-match, then meeting. Then we went, took a picture on the bus, and then straight to the Aviva. So it's like it goes like that.
Yeah,
it's so fast.
yeah.
It goes very quick. Like, and like I said, like, you're just constantly thinking about the game. But obviously the night before, like, you can occupy yourself. You go speak to the boys on the phone or whatever. But the lead up goes pretty quick. Yeah.
Deadly. And when it comes to, like, I know we were speaking a bit just before we start recording, in the game, Bows go 1-0 up early on. You were saying you actually weren't really that nervous when Bows took the lead. I wasn't like, oh shit, Jesus. It's more like kind of calmness, cool, felt like you could pull it back.
Yeah, I to be honest, I didn't feel nervous at all. When they scored, I didn't feel anything really. I just
it is what it is, sort of thing.
It is what it is. Yeah. It's a penalty. They've scored a penalty. It's 10 minutes gone. We've still 18 minutes to come back here. With the players that we had on the pitch as well, I felt okay. But look, of course, straight away as soon as the penalty is given, I'm thinking to myself, 1-0 down here. But yeah, when they scored, it was nothing really, no real feeling. Just ready to rock, really.
Yeah, let's get going again. Deadly. And I know we'll chat about it later, but you've got some experience playing in big finals as well from different teams you would have played for. So I'm sure that really stood to you going into that game, and obviously going 1-0 down, being able to pull it back and bring a bit of leadership to it as well.
Yeah, definitely. The previous final that we played in was pretty similar in terms of atmosphere, in terms of like hostility and it's the same kind of crew. Like the Irish and the Scottish fans are pretty similar. But exactly. I like I said, on the day it wasn't as bad, and to be honest, it was the same for that final as well.
Really,
yeah, it was the same. Don't know why. I don't know. I can't tell you why, but it's just, it is what it is. That's just how it pans out, really.
100%.
I've always, like, since we started this podcast, you're the first footballer we've had, professional footballer, and we've been dying to get them on because, like most young fellas, we grew up wanting to be footballers, and like no matter how shite you are, you always think you might make it one day, and then you get 17 and it's like, probably not going to happen. But like, go into as much detail as you want, but what is it like to be living a lot of young fellas' dreams in terms of just being a professional footballer, and that's how you make a living? If you had to sum it up for somebody, what's it like?
It's great. I'm literally playing football for a living. Like when you break it down to like the simplest form, like I'm kicking the ball and earning money, and it's great. It's a huge blessing, to be honest. Yeah, I think sometimes you might take it for granted, maybe when things aren't going your way, or you've had a rough couple of months, but when you strip it all down, like it's you can't really ask for a better job. You're training every day, you're into the change room with good lads, having a bit of crack, going to the gym, like experience days like we did on Sunday. Like it's amazing. Yeah,
it sounds like I can't even put words to what it is, but like the journey that you must go on, just like knowing that each and every morning you just get to wake up and do something you'd probably do for free anyways, but get paid for it, and then getting to experience those moments like you were saying in the cup final, but also getting to make memories for the supporters and the people that like follow your team around. Like it seems like a nice way to make a living.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It is brilliant, and when you see like the kind of numbers that were there Sunday, and I mean, I know one set of fans go home are very happy, but when you see your own fans buzzing and kids buzzing, and it's a great buzz. Yeah, to be part of it.
Is there any part of it you think that? Obviously, every job has shit elements to it. What are the kind of things about being a professional footballer that people might overlook, or you feel like people don't acknowledge how difficult it really is at times?
I think...
Or is it all just easy and happy?
No, it's not. Like the playing bad and that kind of element to it, like that comes with the game, like getting stick or whatever, it's part of the game. But the kind of part that people don't see is like kind of stuff you miss out on. Look, I've been away since I'm 15. Like growing up, like I'm away for a lot of things. Even recently in the States when my little one was born, we were she was born in October, I was gone in January, and COVID hit, so the girls had to go back. And look, I'm going 4 months out seeing my child comes back and doesn't even know who I am. You know what I mean? So there's things like that. It's a bit rough, like meeting her at the airport and she's like, "How's that?" Like that was rough now. But apart from that though, like I said, like the things that happen in football, it happens. You know what I mean? Eventually you'll get over it. But that's the kind of hard bit for me, was the family side of it.
Yeah. Was your baby, was she born in America?
No, she was born in Scotland.
Oh, Scotland?
Yeah, Scotland,
At least they're Scottish.
Basically, Scottish,
She doesn't have the accent though.
No more travelling than I have.
Deadly. One last question, then we'll get into the usual stuff. But what was the celebrations like after Sunday?
Oh, it was deadly. We went back to the Forge. There was like a little function room for family, and then about an hour and a half after that, then the fans went into the warehouse, and we just all went down into the warehouse, with the fans, and it was just mad. And then we, but even driving back, I was saying this before, driving back through towards the Red Cow to we were going through Richmond, and it was hectic. It was mad.
Really,
there was about 800 people on the road just flowing out of the pubs, flares, like it was just mad. But the set, was good. It was very good. The celebrations were great. Yeah,
quality. Quality, man. Sounds like someday a day that will live long in the memory, I'm sure. I've seen actually the pictures you had with your little one as well, with the cup on the pitch. Like, those things are stuff that you just treasure forever and be able to pull up in years to come. So
yeah, that's brilliant.
It sticks with you. Deadly, man.
You brought the medal with you as well?
Oh, yeah.
You just keep it with you permanently now?
Yeah, it's always in the back pocket, isn't it?
I just wear it everywhere.
Sleeping with it.
Quality. So bring us back then, Jake. Obviously, this is where you're at now, but football's been an ever-present in your life from probably the second you could start walking, I'm sure. What was it like for you growing up as a wannabe footballer at that stage?
Yeah, it was great. I had like an upbringing like anyone else, really. Kicked the ball on the road till my mad called me in.
Yeah.
Played for Bosco. Went to Bosco at 4. Lourdes, Crumlin, and got scouted from Crumlin, and then it just all went from there, really.
Yeah. What was up with that Crumlin team? Were you on steroids or something?
Yeah,
like, you remember the unbelievable players you had on that team?
No, even the year above and the year below, there was a lot of good players, but yeah, we produced some good players in fairness. There's been a lot that's come through Crumlin.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm sure there will be in the future as well.
Even was Lee Hammond on your team?
Hammer was there, yeah. Lee was there. Dan. We had probably 4 or 5 of the boys who went on trial.
So
a couple of boys are in the League of Ireland now. A couple of boys are in the Leinster Senior League. So there was a good squad, It was a good squad.
You were young as well when you started getting brought over on trials too, weren't you?
Yeah, I think it was 12, 11.
The first time,
trial.
That's mad.
Yeah, it was, Forest was my first, and I think then Ipswich.
Crumlin had a link with Forest, did they?
Yeah, Crumlin had the link with Forest, So a couple of us would go back and forth. Look on mid-terms, and we just go over and trial. And if you do well, they'd call you back, and just the normal way trials work, really.
Deadly.
Well, we wouldn't know.
No, we never got one yet, but living vicariously through you here now. But I can only put myself in the position, but I'd imagine when you're like 11 or 12 and any professional team asks you to come on trial, does there be a bit of you that's like, like I'm the man, I'm making it here? Or for you at that age, was it kind of just wore off a duck's back sort of thing?
No, it was because when I first went over, like the difference was mad. Like the size of the lads at that age, like I was a dog, like I was tiny. Like I was going like, you know myself, Dan was a big lad. We had another couple of big boys, but at that age they were all big. Like at Forest, I don't think there was many boys. Like they were in gyms, they were doing stuff that first teams do. Like we were training Tuesday, Thursday, and they were playing. They were in Monday after school, Tuesday. Gym, they were doing everything. And I was like, thinking back a bit. And I was kind of growing up. I was normally quicker than most of the people I play against. We got there and everyone was just really quicker or as quick. So it was a big shock when I first went.
I'd say so. How many other teams was it? You mentioned Forest, Ipswich was trying the others you were going over to.
I think that was years ago. I made me mind of quick with Forest and
Did you really?
Yeah. I think I was probably 12 when I made me mind up with Forest. I just kept going back and forth until I was old enough to sign. And so my mind was made up quick with Forest.
What was it about Forest that stood out for you?
I don't know. It was a good group. The lads it was a good group of lads. The digs was good. The coaches were good. I just liked it. I don't know. I just got a good vibe off Forest and stuck with it, and just kept on going back and forth on trials till I was 15 or 16 and signed.
Okay, so it was like 3 or 4 years just backing over, back over
for a while.
Nice. And when it came like time that they actually offered you a contract form, is like, we want to take you over and come play, well, not professionally, but obviously in the academy for Forest. How did that feel for you?
It was great. It was great. I think it was tough in terms of like me man leaving me family and friends, and that was tough, but it's what I wanted to do, you know. So it was something that I'd never torn down. So I was delighted with it.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because like, I remember even when Dano signed for Liverpool. Because I'm a Liverpool fan. I was fucking buzzed. Like, if I was texting the board, I'd be like, cousin just signed for Liverpool. This is dead. But like, in my head, like, that he made it. Do you know, like, he had achieved. He's a footballer. But in reality, it's kind of just the start of the journey, isn't it? Like, it's easy to get caught like, I just signed for this team or this club want me, but the real work kind of only starts once you get there.
Yeah, you're miles off it when you first go. Like, you're nowhere near it. I think I can't even imagine the percentage of boys that play in first team at 15, 16, 17. There's not many at all, especially over the water. But you're miles off. There's so much to do to even get close to training with the first team. Never mind even playing. You're right. You're nowhere near it. Nowhere near it.
And when you went over there, were you confident that you'd eventually break into that first team, or were you constantly in the back of your head like, I don't know if we'll ever make it?
Yeah, there's doubts all the time, I never thought that, to be honest. I was never, my thought process when I was young was never like, the big man, like, I'm going to make it into that. It was always the opposite, you know what I mean? Like, it was always down, it was always constant scraps in your head. It was complete opposite. It was like, what if I don't make it here? Where am I going to go from here? You know what I mean? Like, as a young kid, I was very, very easily wound up in my own head.
And that, obviously that must impact performance then, and just the way you carry yourself on the pitch and everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like after one bad game, I'm thinking, I'm going to get released.
Like,
it was that heavy. Like, it was like, and then the pressure piles on for it. Because some boys are literally playing for. I had a scholarship, so I had I had 16, 17, and then I had 17 already, you know what I mean? So there was some boys that only had 16, and then they'd have to play the whole year to get 17, 18. But the pressure's mad. Like, I don't think it's spoke about enough. Like, the pressure that's on young lads in academies, like, it's hectic. Like, it's hard.
It is.
And it is hard for young boys.
You give up so much of your life. Like, you don't get a leaving cert. Like, you leave school after your junior cert. Is that when you left?
Junior,
Like, you're giving up your leaving cert, whatever. Obviously, you can go on to college and stuff like that, but it's a lot harder when you have to have been away for 4 years playing ball.
Big time.
So, like,
big time,
you really do take a risk and put everything aside to try focus on making that dream happen. And then if something happens, they don't renew your contract, nobody else wants you, you get a bad injury, whatever.
So many factors that you even control.
You're just one unfortunate event away from not being able to play ball again, and then you're just left stuck.
Exactly. Yeah, you're just literally just a number. Then it happened to me. It happened to me at Forest myself. Yeah, so it is hard. Like, I think they are getting a bit stricter with it in terms of like a system for when kids get released. And cause, like, it gets heavy. Like, some kids get proper down. Like, I've heard stories of some kids unfortunately taking their own lives due to getting released. Like, it's that serious. Like, it does get bad. Yeah.
It's shocking, isn't it? Especially at such a young age. I think even when like Dana went over, for example, or you would have went over like 14 or 15. I think when I was younger, I would have looked at that and been like, "Oh, deadly, yeah, they're on their way," but they're just babies, really, aren't they? Like, you don't realise, because Jaden's here in the studio. He's like 14, 15 now. It's like if I was to picture him going away, living by himself, like training, and then having the rest of the afternoon off, and like all this stuff, it's like.
Wouldn't let him to live your valley by himself.
There's so much, like, just because you can play ball, there's so much about life outside of that comes into the equation as well, and to not be equipped with that, and you're really just put onto a pitch and it's like, right, if you make it, you make it. If you don't, good luck and figure the rest of your life out from there. It's such a amount of pressure that I don't know if anyone's really equipped to deal with, but definitely not at those young ages when you're still young. You can be easily influenced from all sorts of stuff going on outside of life. Like, you're trying to figure out who the fuck you are, never mind anything else on a pitch, and it's like all this coming in must be a heavy load to carry every day.
It's a cutthroat sport. Like, it's proper cutthroat. Like, I don't know if you've watched, there's like a little documentary for like Palace kids coming up the whole way, and there's kids getting released at 13, like, and that parents don't know what to do because they're proper like down in the dumps over it, you know. But you're right, you're just thrown onto the pitch and you do get help. Like, it's at the end of the day, it's another number. Like, coaches go through it. I'd say they do go through it every year. Just look, unfortunately, you're not good enough to play here. You can't renew your contract. That's that.
You know? What was so you went over to Forest on a scholarship at 15?
15, yeah.
What age was it when you left Forest?
I was just about to turn. I think I might have just turned 18. I was just about to turn 18. I was 17, I think.
Right. So you're there 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, I was there for a couple of years, yeah.
And were you just, your contract had expired and they didn't renew, or what was the story with that?
Well, it's a bit of a story. Do you want me to go
Yeah,
into
go on. We love a story. As long as you don't get in any like legal trouble.
It's not a story. Yeah, I was up at the 21s and I was doing okay. And a new manager came in for the 21s, a fella from Nike Academy.
Right.
And now, to be honest, looking back the way I played back then, I understood why he probably didn't like me. It was all about tricks, and I didn't have the right mindset of a forward. I was all about going 1v1, going past people. Didn't care how my cross was as long as I got past the player. Not like selfish or anything, but my confidence came from me going past the player.
Beating
basically.
somebody,
So he didn't really take a liking to me, and got pulled. But I was doing okay. I remember I was doing okay, but they pulled me in, and I was thinking, right, they're probably going to say I need to work on this, that, whatever. Pulled me in and said, look, man, I'm not renewing your contract. You're basically your time's done here. I was a bit taken aback, because the conversations I'd had with the previous 21's coaches, and I felt like, right, I'd probably have another little year here to kind of give it a go. But he ended up getting released, and I got released probably in March. Then I was going on trials. Then I went to Leicester, played an in-house game. I don't know. Right, my agent now calls me the best trialist ever, because I do all right in the trial, and then I can get complacent. Then you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I done okay, and the coach says, look, he comes up to me, he says, look, you done all right, but we're not going to offer you anything. We have a young lad here below you who we don't want to hinder his process. And it turns out to be Harvey Barnes, so your man has an idea what he's talking about.
Fair enough.
So that was that, that was dead in the water. Then I went to Birmingham, trained with the 21s, then trained the next day with a mixture of the 21s and the first team. And then I played a game, and I had a nightmare in the game. Then that was another one dead. I was meant to go to Stoke then on trial. My agent went quiet at the time. Went quiet, so I was like, can't get a hold of this fella. Rings me back, texts me actually about 2 weeks after. I'm still training here at Forest, staying fit. I said the coaches were saying on the phone, said, look, you can stay fit with us. Well, they're going out on trial. He went quiet. Basically said, look, I'm packing her in. So I was like, nice one. I didn't know what to do then. You know? And so one of the 21s coaches at Forest ended up going to like a non-league side called Ilkeston. They were, I think, they're like the 10th tier, 9th league or something. She says, look, come in, train with us, play for the reserve, stay fit. And he says, if anything comes up, just go. No, but I went in, played with the reserves, played a couple of games for the first team, and again, it was terrible. Really bad. Head was fried, thinking.
Yeah, what was your mindset at that stage, having gone on so many trials, agents gone missing?
It's just, you just don't know what to do. 17-year-old lad, packing, I'd know where to live.
Yeah,
you know what
travelling,
travelling, me. It was just a mad period in my life. Like I said, I'd know where to live. I was staying with a friend of mine, his dad. I'd come over, staying with him. He ends up giving me a bell. I hadn't seen him for a couple of weeks, and I was just in the gaff of my own. Gives me a bell saying, look, I've moved now to the gaff. You've 2 weeks kind of to find somewhere. I'm going to live down, I think it was Wales or something he was going to live.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have nowhere to go here. So one night I ended up just keeping at a bus stop. My mate drove past, saying, what are you doing here? And just told him. He said, come stay in my house with my family. And they looked after me. I was still at Ilkeston at the time. So I was getting picked up by another lad actually who got released to, his name's Steve Chettle, the coach. Great, top man. So he was picking us up, and we'd both go to Ilkeston together. So
was it a far drive?
No, it wasn't that far. But it was a bit of a mad scene, yeah.
And you weren't getting paid with Ilkeston at that time, were you?
No, well, there was a thing, I'd get 50 quid a game, but it was with the first team. But I only ended up playing with the first team when nothing was coming about.
Yeah.
But my dad, I didn't tell my man, and my man would freak out.
I can
my man would freak out.
Be on the
so
first way over.
Tell my man, I'm grand, I'm on trials and all that.
Have a Lamborghini.
Yeah. Well, my dad just, look, I had no money. Look, I was waiting for you get this check for doing your B-Tech or something, like 350 quid, but my account was already in a deficit, so I was already 200 quid down, so I got that in, it was 100 quid, and then that was gone, like, so my dad had to order me food, and, you know what I mean, it was a bit of a mad time, but, it was, do you know what, looking back now, it's a good time, you know what I mean, thinking, like, what I picked up from that.
Yeah.
But, it was a bit of a mad one, though, yeah.
It puts things into perspective, doesn't it?
I never even knew some of that stuff, and we researched it beforehand.
No, I don't think I've told anyone. No, I think there's only probably a handful of people that know that, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Like, this might just be me being a fucking pussy, but like, was there a moment where you're like, oh, I'm done with this, just get me home and I'll get an apprenticeship or I'll do something else? Or?
Yeah, 100%. I ended up, because it wasn't really working out at Ilkeston. Like I said, I was playing terrible. So it was like, I'm playing against ground men. Yeah, just the first time I kind of played against men.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I'm not able to play. Yeah, I'm not able to play against men. So I ended up ringing my dad. I said, look, I'm just going to come down and stay. My dad lived in Wolverhampton at the time, and said, I'll just come and walk with you. We ended up doing painting and decorating for probably 3 weeks. But in fairness to me dad, he stuck me in all the shy jobs. So look, I had to carry the plaster everywhere, and I had to do all the shy.
Yeah.
So I ended up saying, I'm not doing that. Can't do it. I just
go back to the bus stop of this.
That's But I ended up packing that in. I came home then, and I was looking at the force, and then my agent now just bailed me out of nowhere and said, look, the QPR 21's manager wants you to come over on trial. I was thinking, no, like, my head was fried, like my nanny had just died, and I didn't want to leave. I just didn't want to do that, really, you know. I just wasn't up for that. And I said, I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to go back to doing trials, and that was that. And then my ma said, bring him back, like, tell him you'll do it. So I said, right, I'll give it a go. And I wasn't fit, I hadn't played and trained months. I think it was probably November time. So my agent sorted out PT. I was training with Larkview at the time, I think. So I was kind of playing, had a couple of games there trying to get fit, and then went over to QPR, and thank God I done all right, and got a deal at QPR.
Right. Did you, when you were on that trial for QPR, did that feel for you like, right, this is last chance to live?
Yeah, that's literally what it was, boys. Yeah, last chance. If nothing comes of this, it's done.
And how did you feel as you were doing the trials? Did you feel at the end, you're like, right, that's enough, I'll get the deal here? Or was it like, oh, I'm not sure?
Yeah, well, I trained. They knew that I wasn't fit. They knew the situation. Like, so in fairness to them, they were good, yeah. I trained the Thursday, Friday, played 45 on the Saturday. Right. And thank God I scored twice, and I was thinking, right, that's a decent trial. Came up to me, says, look, you had a decent half, but you're nowhere near signing, yeah. You know what I mean? So he's like, you've gone to that week and a half, like, to prove that. I think he was probably trying to make me. That's kind of what I needed to hear, because I probably would have went the other way and got a bit comfortable. But I ended up training for another couple of weeks, and at the end of the couple of weeks, then they offered me a deal.
That was a lifesaver when that came true, wasn't it?
Yeah. But like I said, it was the last chance, really. If this doesn't happen, it's getting packed in, yeah.
Madness. What was the contract they offered you? Was it a few years or?
It was a year and a half.
Year and a half.
Okay. Year and a half, yeah.
Gave you some breathing room at least.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I had the January to May, and then
the next season.
Next season, then yeah.
Were QPR, were they Premier League at that time or Championship?
Yeah, they were in the Premier League from the January, got relegated in the May.
Right. So next season they'd be Championship.
Was Adel Tarat at QPR at that time?
Adel was there, yeah. Adel Tarat was there.
Did you ever train with him?
Yeah, he
seems like a
mad man. He was serious footballer of like talent, was mental.
Proper street footballer, wasn't he?
Proper. Like you just stand, because he trained with us a lot, because fell out with the gaffer. I remember one time we were out training and he's played mad. He runs out about 20 minutes late, hour 20 months, man. You can't tell him what to do. He says, look, Adele, just get yourself warm so you don't get a knock or you don't get injured. He says, nah, just walked in. Just like put his hand up in the air like that, walked in. Think to myself, this fella this is one of the best footballers, like street boys. He's not yourself. Everyone's seen the videos. He's like a strange talent, but just didn't care. Just didn't care at all.
Madness, isn't it?
Actually, you'd probably be a good person to answer this question because you've seen a lot of different footballers at a lot of different levels. How much of it do you think is natural talent and how much of it do you think is like attitude and willing to work hard?
Yeah, do you know what, boys? To be honest, I think a good 80% of it is mental.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, from my experiences and from speaking to other people, I think a lot of it is mental. Obviously, attitude, obviously technical ability has to come into it at some stage. Attitude, obviously, I've seen boys go from nowhere near that at 17 to playing in the Premier League. So that obviously comes in massively as well. But I think from my perspective, mentality and how you deal with setbacks and stuff like that is definitely probably the most important thing.
Yeah, makes sense. Like even the most talented footballers, I don't think I've ever seen someone who hasn't gone through some shit in their career or some setback, some adversity, some challenge to overcome. And I think, like you said at the start, how you'll make a difference is sharing everything you've gone through and using that to enhance your daughters' lives moving forward from there. Is like there's so much, even in those 10-15 minutes what you're speaking about there, like that's a
bring a sleeping bag to the bus stop.
Yeah. Keep it in the back pocket. Yeah, like there's a book worth of wisdom and life lessons and experience in there to share. Like so,
that was only like when you signed for QPR, you 21. were 18, 19.
Yeah, 18 I was,
young.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those 2 years, year and a half, what was it between Forest ending and signing for QPR? Is like all that went on in there. Such a pivotal time as well. As like could go one way or the other. But now you're here, a champion. You would have thought.
Thank God.
Just retire now.
Yeah. This is the peak. What age are you now, actually, by the way, Jake?
27 now.
27. So it's literally about 10 years from that experience in Forest leaving there up until now.
Yeah.
Wow. What a turnaround that's been.
Before we go on, I have to ask.
Yeah.
QPR, the trials you done, the time at Nottingham Forest, out of all that time, is there any player who stands out as being like the best player you've ever played with? Just over with that period in England.
Like from Forest to QPR.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. No, I can't think now off the top of my head. Obviously Adele in terms of talent, Tarat was outrageous.
Yeah.
Anyone you played with still going with now, playing at the Premier League level, or?
Yeah, there's a couple of boys. There's a boy that actually he's a skipper at Forest. Lad Joe Worrell, there was a couple of boys out at the year below me at Forest that got good moves actually.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, there was a lad called Oliver Bourke, got a couple of 12 million pound
I remember him.
moves, like he done well for himself. There's a couple of boys in the Champ, a couple of boys in the year above, played in the Prem. Jamal Lascelles, captain of Newcastle. Patrick Bamford, Ben Osborne, like these boys done well, like played in the Prem, played at top levels. And trying to think, training at QPR, we trained with Rio Ferdinand. Mentality wise, that's one thing that was probably the first time we kind of noticed it. Like,
I remember you told a story. Actually, you had a little falling out or a spat with Rio, was there?
I shit myself. I didn't know myself. No, but yeah, we were doing a little rondo and the gaffer says, right, when you lose the ball, it's done.
Yeah.
I think we're about 50 passes in, coming up to 60, and I gave it away. But beforehand, obviously we were up to 50. I was doing all right. I was keeping the ball, and it was me who gave it away, and he just bang went mad. I was thinking to myself, what do I do here? He just went mad. Didn't say anything after, and that was the kind of first time I was like, right, I'm playing like. Because like I said to you, like I didn't know after the Ilkeston thing if I could play with men. Because it's different when you're going and playing with lads our age to then going up with grown men, and the standards go through the roof, especially someone like himself who who had the career he had, but that was the first little reality check I had going for a first team,
Well, it's no one better to get it from either, jeez.
Yeah, absolutely,
Some operator, Cool. So, moving through our QPR then, obviously you stayed with them the year and a half. Did the contract not get extended then for you, or did you get moved somewhere else that you jumped on?
I went there on loan. I went to Dagenham and Stevenage, and the academy director and the 21s gaffer came out to watch me a couple of times, and they basically said, look, we'll come out and watch it, and if you do all right, we'll give you another deal. So I says, okay, like, fair enough. You can't really argue with that. And last game this season for Stevenage, I had a decent loan spell. It wasn't bad. And the secretary came up to me and says, that's some people left that here for you at the desk. And it was a contract in QPR. And I was thinking to myself, they're just leaving a contract there. Like, they're obviously not taking me that serious. Like, if they just throw behind the desk and say, I'll give that to him. So I just went in and said, look, am I anywhere near the first team? No, fair enough. I'm just gonna go and see if I can go back to where I was, like League Two or anywhere like that, and because that was me thinking. Like, I'm thinking, like I'm 20, nearly 20, 19, nearly 20. I need to be playing
first team
in and around the first team at least, and so I ended up not taking that contract and ended up signing for M&S.
Yeah. Okay.
Big decision that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, but like I said, I didn't really want to be in the 21s anymore. I kind of wanted to take that step up to the first team, and I ended up just taking the deal at M&S.
Respect, considering what you'd been through just a year previously, to take that, you might call it a risk, but to back yourself and say, like, no, I want to go play first team football and prove myself, there's courage.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Like I said at the time at Ilkeston, I didn't really know if I could play men's football, and then the loan spell I kind of proved to myself that I was all right, just to give it a bit of a bash.
Yeah, and then obviously not just moving teams but moving countries. I know it's Scotland and it's part of England, but again having to go relocate, make new friends up there. What was that like, that transition and all that? Yeah,
it was all right. They were a good group. It was a great group of lads actually. I had already known 2 lads up there, and so I got settled in pretty quick. The gaffer was Irish.
Nice.
I got on well with him at times. We had mad spats, but we got on well, and it was a great experience. It was the top flight in Scotland, and got to experience some very, very good games. So it was an enjoyable time, yeah.
What's the standout moment for your time at Inverness?
Probably going playing at Celtic.
Yeah.
That was the first kind of big proper stadium we've played at. Well, not proper, but like crazy crowd.
Atmosphere.
The Celtic fans are mental, non-stop. So that was a great experience. Yeah.
Did they give you any take it easy on you because you're Irish and there's a bit of an Irish Celtic connection? No.
They don't care. Like I said, they're ruthless. Yeah, they don't care.
And then you left Inverness, and was it Hearts then or Hibs?
Hearts. I went to Hearts then, and had a 2-year spell at Hearts, and then got a show from America and took America. Yeah.
Madness, isn't it? All the chopping and changing transitions around.
You still kept your Irish accent though.
Yeah, somehow you hung on to that.
I've always been around Irish people, which is strange. Sure. Every club I've been to, there's been Irish there.
Deadly. When it came time to make that move to America, was that a tough decision to make? Was it like other side of the world, different time zones?
It was huge, and plus because I just had a child. So
Ella had come along at that stage.
So Ella was there. I was taking Ella away from my family and my partner's family, so it was a big decision. But look, to be honest, Atlanta, the way the MLS do things, I don't know how anyone turns them down. Like, they sent me over a leaflet of everything.
Right.
If your wife likes shopping, these are the places to go. If you like doing this is the places to go. Like, literally like an email with like a basically like an online pamphlet. You just flick through it. The stadium, to show you the facilities, to show like
selling it to you. That's
literally what it is. Yeah, selling it to you, and it's just I think, and
So
how can I?
American,
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it is right. And how can you tone it down?
Like a salesman knocking on the door. Good morning, Jake. And obviously, I'm going into detail here, but when America came knocking, offering that contract, obviously that was like the whole appeal of just being over in America and all the stuff over there. Financially, was a significant improvement from where you were at in Scotland? That was a similar kind of financial move, but just more opportunities were over there.
Financially it was.
Made more sense.
Yeah, made a lot more sense.
A lot more sense.
The money in America is good in America, and obviously that wasn't the only thing. Obviously, course, it's a big part of it.
Yeah, the women are nice as well.
Yeah, well, like everything, like the lifestyle, the stadiums, the facilities, like I genuinely think in the next few years, like if they recruit right, like they could easily be one of the top leagues in the world.
Really,
it has everything to be one of the top leagues.
It has everything except the eyeballs and maybe the talent.
Well, you'd be surprised. Like they grab like.
Little Brazilians
that no one knows of, like 20-year-old Brazilians, Argentinian boys that no one knows, and 2 years in the MLS and they're going for 50 million.
Like Almiron at Newcastle and players like that,
Even the boy at Atalanta, Thiago Almada is his name. Just won the World Cup with Argentina.
Striker or
like a 10. Small Argentinian.
They're all 10s, aren't they, Argentinians?
Yeah, honestly they are. 90%.
Even their centre backs are like 10s.
Well, he'll go for 50 million.
Really,
So they're good. They're getting much better at that. They're going that route now. Whereas previous they'd get like Lampard, Pirlo, Thierry. Now boys that are just going over. But now they're going the other route, getting boys and making dough off little Brazilians who are top quality.
I want to just rewind back a little bit because it's such a big, obviously pivotal part of your life becoming a dad. Firstly, is that something that you've always wanted, like knowing you wanted to do is have a child, be a father, or just something as you got older kind of came to you? And then what was it like actually having a kid and bringing someone into this world and be like, shit, I'm responsible for you forever?
Yeah, it was scary when she first came, but I always wanted kids, so I always wanted to have a child. She's deadly. Like I said this at the start, it's hard to explain like the kind of love and the buzz you have with a child. It's like you said, like I'm responsible for this child. Like I was 23, I think, when I had Ella. I was thick. I hadn't a clue what to do with my hand, and then I just have this little baby here. My ma came over for the first probably week or so it was kind of a bit calmer, but Eve, my partner, she was grand. She was grand.
Mammy mode kicked in straight away.
But I was terrible from what I can remember. But you get used to it, and it's like I said, boys, you can't describe it until you have a kid yourself.
And is Aoife Irish or Scottish?
Irish.
Yeah. Were your friends over before you moved to Forest and all that sort of stuff? Or?
No, I knew of her. And then we ended up getting together. Then just a couple of months after I moved to Inverness.
Right.
Yeah.
So semi-long distance sort of job for a while, was it?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great,
Quality, cool. And then moving across to the US, were you able to bring Ella and Aoife with you from day one, or did you go for a while and then they were able to follow over later?
Yeah, so I went first and then they came. And then, like I said, the COVID hit.
Yeah.
And they kind of had to go back, and then it was a nightmare trying to get them back.
How come they had to? Was it visa related or something?
Yeah,
that they had to go back.
Like, and they were recommending people to go back, and so they had they working off like a holiday visa at the start.
Yeah.
So they could come for a couple of months, and then they'd have to go back. So their visa was coming to an end, so she was like, "Look, I have to go back." She doesn't know if she'll get back in the country if she stays over the time of the visa. So then, COVID hit, and they were gone for probably 4 months, I'd say, 3-4 months.
And
a couple of times,
at that time, because it was COVID, was football stopped for you?
Football was stopped. Yeah, we stopped for about probably 2.5 months. Then we did a big huge tournament in Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
Mad, in like a bubble, they were calling it. Yeah, we stayed in Disney. In the Disney resorts and played on the facilities in Disney. It was a mad one, but
only in America, isn't it? That
it was,
crazy.
It was horrible. It was roasting right in the middle of July.
Disney's in Florida, is it? Orlando, Florida, yeah. So sticky, humid, all that crack. What was that 2.5 months like? Was Aoife and Ella out of country and you weren't playing ball because of COVID, obviously? So you were just kind of home alone for a couple of months.
They, in fairness to Atlanta, they looked after. They did it right. They did it well. In fairness, they dropped off bikes to everyone's gaff, and we do like Zoom sessions every day, more or less. Whether it was on the bike or with a ball or now like just little sessions that you could do on the gaff, really. Yeah,
try keep it moving, keep the team engaged as well. Make sure boys are not taking advantage of a bit of downtime going on the session.
Exactly. It was great with me because I whack on the way if I don't train.
Really,
terrible. Yeah.
And then obviously season kicks back in. How long did you spend at Atlanta? Because I know that you moved to Orlando then afterwards, wasn't it?
2 years, 2.5 years, I think. I don't know, I can't think. Yeah, 2 seasons. I had the COVID season and I had the others. 2.5 seasons,
Nice.
And then I got a call Wednesday afternoon from the director. Said, look, we're trading it to Orlando. You need to be there by Friday. So I was like, the first question was like, what's going on? Like, what's the story with the girls? Like, what's going to happen with them? He says, look, you just go. You're going up to Canada. So you have to fly down to Orlando. Then you have a game in Canada on Saturday, so you have to be there Friday. I was like, okay. No say, no nothing.
Yeah.
In fairness to the league, though, the league probably look after. They cover everything. They move everything. If you need a car moved up or whatever, really, they can do. They do everything for you because it's a mad process. You just get a call and they're gone. And the girls were still in Atlanta then for 2 weeks. Because we had back-to-back games in Canada.
Right.
So I went to Montreal.
In Toronto or something.
Came back, trained in Orlando, then went to Toronto.
Right.
So we had 2 games back-to-back in Canada, so it was just a 2-week basis where the girls were there in Atlanta and I was in a hotel in Orlando waiting to kind of settle in.
We have 2 questions. First one. So see, like, you go to Atlanta and say you sign a contract for, I don't know, $100,000 a year. If they trade you to Orlando, do they have to honour that contract or do you have to renegotiate a contract?
Yeah, it's mad how the MLS works, boys. You're contracted to the MLS. You know what I mean?
So it's not the club. So it's not a club,
So I can't remember exactly what it is, but the club own your rights or something and your contract is with the MLS.
Right.
It's a weird one, I'm sure that's how it is. And so if you get traded, you're basically on the same contract.
Just you wear a different jersey.
Just wear a different jersey,
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's second crazy. Question then, because America is fucking huge. Like in England, like if you're, I don't know, Liverpool playing, which part from Liverpool? Swansea or something, I don't fucking know. It's probably like a 2-hour flight or something like that. Like in America, you could be playing in like a different time zone. One weekend, up in Canada the next weekend. What's the longest flight you had to do for an away game, do you remember?
I think it was 5 hours.
5 hours,
to Seattle from Orlando.
Right.
I might have been Atlanta actually, but that was the longest flight. But I missed the 2 LA games. But I think that's a bit of a trek as well. But from what I remember, it was Seattle.
Right. Like you hear Premier League clubs moan about playing Champions League because they have to fly like 3 hours out and back. Like you boys are just doing it on a weekly basis.
Every away game was a flight. Every away game.
Man, that, and when you got that call from Atlanta, say, here, look, you're being traded to Orlando, did that just come out of the blue? There was like no sort of, here, you might be getting a move here or anything like that?
Well, more or less. It was more out of kind of out of the blue, He just gave me a text saying, can you take a call in 5 minutes? And
no.
He said, no, but he said, can you take a call in 5 minutes? And at the time, I was trying to get a passport and register for Jamaica, to play for Jamaica, so I thought it was something to do with that. My first thought was, right, this is probably him saying not to go ahead, I don't know. And he rings me and just says, look, we're at the agreeing a fee with Orlando, we're trading it to Orlando. And the first question we asked him was the girls. And then obviously the second question was like, when do I have to go and whatever, and stuff like that. But it's just out of the blue, that's just how it works there,
Like in the Prem, you'd hear like negotiations or like rumours for weeks in advance. Like United bleeding linked with someone in June and then signed them on the last day of the transfer window. Nightmare. Stop, man. That's crazy. And even like to go in and get your stuff, say goodbye to the lads, all the friends you would have made, their coaches, all the rest, like get your shit, get out, get on a flight to Orlando.
And I loved Atlanta as well.
Did you?
Yeah, me family, they loved Atlanta. Like Atlanta was a great spot. And when you hear Orlando, like my board was buzzing. Now, because Orlando, you think Disney, and you think, this, that. But my problem in Orlando was more off the park than kind of on the park.
Right. We will get into that, I'm sure. But just want to ask you about the Jamaica thing. Did that ever come true in the end? Did you play? I'm guessing your father was Jamaican, or there was some
yeah, my dad's Jamaican. But no, we just packed that. We packed that in. After that, I just didn't go through with it in the end.
So when it came to them making a move to Orlando, if I remember right, Orlando have signed some big players, like Kaka, I think was at Orlando. Nani from United. Did you play with any of those?
No, none of them. I played against Nani.
Did you?
Yeah. I played with Pato. Do you remember Pato?
Yeah.
I've seen he commented on some. I was looking at your Instagram doing the research, and he left a comment on one of your things. I don't know which one. Might have been when you announced that your girlfriend is pregnant or something like that.
Okay.
I was saying something Pato. I was like, no way, that's actually Pato, like that best AC Milan, and it was.
He's 100%. Yeah, I'm strong in my faith, like, and so is he. So
yes.
I think when you have that in common, it's kind of it just flows. Then so he's a good fella, really nice bloke.
How's your Portuguese? Obviously speaking English.
Yeah, no, John, he has all right English. Yeah. But there was a couple of Brazilian boys that. So if we're in a group, like some of them would translate if someone doesn't understand. You know what I mean? So it was always all right.
It'll take 20 minutes to have a conversation. Like, do you want a cup of tea? 10 minutes.
Oh man, even the team talk.
The team. Yeah, that was one big shock for me as well. Was like having to kind of like pick up bits of Spanish so we could kind of
stay in line with everyone.
Yeah.
Madness.
Does John Daly use Spanish in the team?
So in Orlando, you mentioned it was more off the field stuff than on the field. What was going on there?
It was just hard to settle in, boys. To be honest, where we lived, like everything was on paper. It looks great, like but even trying to go out with a gaff like during the day, like see like May, June, July, August, like
I say it's hot, man.
You just can't go out. Like I'm bringing Ella to the playground, you can't get on that because everything's just
roasting.
So she gets throw her down a slide and she comes off
stuck halfway up.
Little things like that, you know what I mean? Like honest to God, right, I don't think I bring the dog on a walk for nearly 2 months. The dog was just out the back. He just wouldn't go outside. It was just too hot. It was mad. It was like even the area that we lived in was very Hispanic.
Yeah.
So the baby like come over to me like she's come over like confused. She obviously didn't know what the other kids were saying. You know what I mean? Like she come over like, I don't know what he's saying, Daddy. And I'm thinking, because he doesn't speak the same language, love. And she's like, and then she can't make friends, and then it's hard. You know what I mean? And then it just builds on from there. Yeah, I don't know. We just couldn't settle, boys. If I'm honest, it was hard to settle. And me and Eva had a conversation. We're like, look, I'll tell them at the end of the year. I went in for the end of the year meeting, and the manager at the time, Oscar Pereira, top man, like doesn't care about, like he does care about football obviously, but he's family first.
Yeah.
And he had a laptop out with clips on it, like what I wanted to do more for us. I wanted to understand this position more, and I said, Gaffer, just before we go into that, like I just want to tell you my situation. So closed the laptop, put the laptop aside, moved his chair up towards me, just goes, look, what do you want me to do to help you? So I think this is a good fella, like he's definitely not going to stand in the way.
A few more quid on the salary would help, actually.
There's a few more quid.
A couple more zeros on that one.
Spanish lessons for him.
No, he was 100% though, he was fair play though.
And what was that conversation? Were you, like at that point, were you like, I just want to go back to Ireland, or were you open to moving to a different team within the US? Or?
No, I think we were just kind of set on coming back. Either UK or Ireland, and conversation, he said, look, that's literally what I did, close the laptop, moved up closer to me, Just said, look, what do you want me to do for you? Like, what do you need help? He says, let me go speak to because you have the end of the year conversation at Orlando was speak to the coach and staff.
Yeah.
Then go speak to technical director, chairman, whatever. Yeah. He says, look, let me go in, speak to them, explain the situation so they know, and then you can go out and there. And he just takes me, are you okay? Are you sorted? What do you need to do? Because he said to me, he says, when he first closed, he said, what do you want? And then we had a conversation. He was like, I have 3 pages here of what I want you to do for us next year. Basically, like saying like that I was kind of part of his plans next year. But he said, look, I know kind of the situation myself. I've been through it myself, and I'd never ever stand in anyone's way when it comes to family. So he was solid with that, yeah.
Big respect. I think that's something that's probably overlooked a lot, especially from the outside. I don't know if inside the game there is a lot more tolerance for it, but I think from a fan's perspective, you just look at footballers as just like assets more so than anything else. Like the boys just get on the pitch and kick the ball and shut up moaning, or like all that stuff. And like, exactly. You don't realize there's a person actually behind that player.
Yeah, 100%. Like that's what I said to you at the start. Like stick and all that stuff at football. Like it is what it is. It's part of the game. You know what I mean? Like that's why I don't really ever expect
people to take that. Yeah,
I never ever kind of expected people to say, poor him. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like it's everyone's going through some sort of shit. So. I never really expect that from anyone in the football kind of bracket. So when it does kind of come about, it's a little bit of like the man, like you said, like I feel like a big part of management is man management. To be honest, like I feel like players definitely respect that when a gaffer is good on that side of it.
Weird question for you, but like Alex Ferguson, like everyone who worked with him says his best asset was his way to manage players and know the individual and stuff. If me or Lee, let's say, or someone was managing you, what do you feel you need from a manager to get the best out of yourself?
It's changed since when I was a kid. Like I'd say probably up until I don't know, maybe just before, maybe America when I first went to America, 23. Up until about then, I was kind of more the arm around the shoulder kind of player. Yeah. Gaffer, like if I was going through a bad game or a rough time, like I'd kind of need that as opposed to the hairdresser. The older I get, I don't really need anything now. You know what I mean? Like the older I get, I have scraps in my head every single day when it comes to football. Every day. But the older I get, it kind of the easier it is to win, if that makes sense in my head. So the only thing I'd like from is again the man management is probably, I think players respect that the most. Man management,
just a bit of understanding that there's life outside football that you're going to.
Even like when it comes to on the park kind of stuff, like in terms of like in terms of the way, like even if you're not going to play, even if a gaffer comes up to you and says, look, I'm not playing you today, and in fairness to John now, like any time I don't play, he comes up and speaks to me. So that's all I kind of require. I can kind of, like I said, like the mental side of it. Now I'm winning more than I'm losing upstairs.
That's good to hear.
Has there been anything specifically that's helped you with that? Has it just been experience, time, reps in the tank doing it, or has there been anything else you've found?
Probably reps. I done a bit of training mental with a fella called John Johnson. He kind of gives you a little, he kind of strips it all down for you and kind of makes you realise that your negative thoughts are kind of normal and stuff, and like kind of stick and stuff like that. Like, look, stick is it's part of the game. Like if someone thinks I'm shy, someone thinks I'm good, all due respect, it's in my head it's all irrelevant. You know what I mean? Like it's. At the end of the day, like I still have to go out there and play. I still have to go out there and do the business, whether someone thinks I'm shy or not. You know, so that's the way I'm kind of going about it now. From them, that kind of side of it,
Deadly. I know you're someone who faith is a big part of your life. How influential of a role has that played in your development and your growth, do you think?
It's everything. Like again, I didn't even mention my faith, but that's probably my go-to as a prayer, or opening up my Bible. I have a good group around me now, and thank God the whole way through I've kind of had a good group of people with faith around me, so that's definitely helped in that side of it. Yeah,
deadly. It's such a big resource, isn't it? Something to lean on like that, something to
Absolutely,
give a bigger meaning to life and all the shit that comes with it at times.
Yeah.
Is there a certain like I don't know, Bible quote or like verse around that you'd say to yourself before a game, or is there any one of them that stick out?
No, not really.
Not too superstitious or anything like that?
No, I'm not. No, not anymore. No, not anymore. I'm not superstitious, but no. Look, the Bible is something for everything. But now I'll just say my prayer, and after my prayer, I'm a bit calmer, and then kind of ready to rock from there. Yeah.
Nice. Do you have any more questions on that, or can I pull it back?
No, pull it back. Yeah, pull it back.
So you had that conversation with your coach at Orlando about not really being settled in and wanting to go back to either UK or Ireland.
Yeah.
How long between having that conversation and making the move to St. Pat's, if you remember?
Would have been probably the end of October, November. So they gave me, in fairness to them, they gave me a bit of time. Yeah. He said, in the end, he said to me, "Look, we're back in January. There's something. I think it was say the 14th or the 15th. They were back in. He says, look, if you haven't got anything, I need you to come back." And so fair enough. If you haven't anything sorted, so through that time, then I was kind of chatting to clubs and chatting to.
How does that work out? Like chatting to clubs, like obviously not just like looking up on Google number for
ringing, ringing the head office,
you just my agent says, look, John Daly wants to meet with you, Tim Clancy wants to meet with you, or Damien Duff wants to meet you, or Rovers.
Could you tell your agent, would you reach out to these clubs for me, or is it more so see what comes to you?
Well, yeah, your agent will put your name out there.
Yeah. See who bites.
And if someone fancies you, then they'll get in contact or whatever.
Yeah.
And just go from there, yeah.
So tell Jurgen Klopp I want to chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we should have gave him a bed.
United could probably do with a winger actually this time. Cool. So as it kind of played out, I'm sure there was a couple of options you might have had in terms of coming back to Ireland and making the move here. What was it about Pat specifically that kind of drew you in?
Well, firstly, I knew John from my time at Hearts.
Okay.
So John done a lot for me at Hearts, in fairness, yeah.
Was he a manager or assistant? Or?
He was a coach.
Coach,
yeah. So he helped me out a lot at Hearts. So I went and spoke to him and the gaffer at the time. And I don't know, I just liked it. And I'd been to Pats as a kid. A lot of my family support Pats. My cousin in America is a heavy Pats fan.
Right.
So it kind of made sense. Spoke to the owner as well. Good fella, very good fella. Spoke to him. Spoke to he told me kind of the ambitions he has for the club in the next few years. Mm-hmm. So it sounded good, and what he said, he said, like, look, I want to be winning cups, I want to be winning like trophies with Pats.
Yeah.
And he has, in fairness, we have done. So it made sense at the time, and thank God it's kind of paid off in the end with a cup.
100%. And overall, reflecting on the season, obviously it ends on a high with a trophy. How did you find it's your first season in playing League of Ireland, back in the league? Like, did it take you time to adjust compared to playing in America? Did it feel like on par? Like, what was that?
Yeah, it was up and down. My first year was very up and down, if I'm honest. Getting used to kind of the style of play and smaller pitches, bumpier pitches, facilities and stuff like that. But yeah, it was very up and down. Like I started okay, got into it a bit more, started to score a couple of goals, and then towards the tail end of the season, I was poor. Like, I had a poor end of the season, and then in the final, then performed all right, and we won the cup. So it was up and down. Yeah, it was definitely up and down, but it was a good experience, you know.
Yeah.
Like I kind of, even though I'm 27, I'm still learning about myself, and had a bit of a learning curve, I'd say.
Yeah.
Towards the tail end, when I was probably playing all right and scoring some goals, I probably got a little bit complacent, and paid for it in the end. But do you know what? It was, in a way, although it was horrible to play, not good, obviously.
Yeah.
It's a blessing in a way, because again, I've learned now not to get complacent.
Yeah, fuck's sake, they just don't be complacent.
Yeah,
they should have given you. How long was that contract with Pats? Are you allowed to say?
Yeah, 3 years.
3 years. They should have given you a 3-year trial.
Yeah. He's just on trial. Yeah.
That would have worked out better.
Every game's a trial. Yeah. But even what you've said there, Jake, of like understanding, started off strong, got into a groove, then kind of form dipped. It's like it's easy for us on the outside looking oh, he's having a stinker, he's playing shy. But as footballers, you'll probably be your own worst critic in those moments, and you'll walk off a pitch. You don't need anyone to tell you you've had a bad game or played poorly. Like, you know yourself. But I know you said that as you've kind of grown, more reps in the tank, you've kind of, not that it doesn't impact you, I'm sure it hurts, but it doesn't kind of stay with you for as long as it might have in the past.
100%, yeah. That's the thing. It doesn't stay with me for long at all. Like I joined in with the old county as well. Like, I got sent off against Rotherham, and boys saying to me, you're getting some stick off the fans. It's funny, yeah, because some of the stick is funny.
I'd say it's different compared to the American stick.
Some of it, in fairness, some of it is funny. I'll take some of it.
Do you ever be on the pitch, like, you have to hold yourself back? For something to say. You don't want to give them the satisfaction.
Yeah, like, I remember whipping in a corner. I think it was Shields, can't remember. I just went straight into the keeper's hands, and some fella goes, "Hey, Jay, that was fucking shite." I just turned around and just started laughing. And me and him are just laughing at each other. And it's stuff like that I don't mind. You know what I mean? Like you said, like the older I get, like it's. Like, don't get me wrong, I love having the fans there and the atmosphere on Sunday. And I've played through COVID where there's no fans. Like, we need fans. You know what I mean? Like, we need them. Like, I can't explain how much of a buzz they give us. Like, in fairness to the Pats fans, they didn't turn on us once through the year. Even when we were playing bad, I don't remember the time really them turning on us, like, in the stadium. Mm-hmm. But like I said, like, it's their opinions of me as a football player in my own head is irrelevant. With all due respect, like I said, like I still have to go on there. Like coming out, even to the cup final, like that's probably the worst form I've had in years. Coming into the cup final, boys, being honest, and people are probably saying like I probably shouldn't have started and wouldn't expect me to start after kind of having a bit of a dip in form, but. It's all irrelevant at the end of the day. I still have to step onto the pitch. The gaffer's telling me, look, I'm starting you, so be ready. I have to be ready. Like, people's opinions of me, it doesn't really matter at that stage. When I'm standing there, they're not gonna help me. They're not gonna play for me. I still have to go out there and give it a go. But like I said, though, don't get me wrong. We need fans. Like, that buzz on Sunday was top.
Yeah.
Like, I've not experienced that many times before ever, but yeah, that's how I win fights in my head, really. Yeah, to be honest,
it's massive, man. Massive, yeah. With the final, obviously the Viva, the crowds, the celebrations afterwards, all that. I know it was a bit of a rough season, but do you feel now off the back of that how the season's ended to set you up now moving into next season to be like, right, whatever lessons and shit we went through the last few months, we'll put them to the side and get cracking out into a bit of a break and then getting ready for next season?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. I'm not saying that I'm going to play good every single game. It's not realistic, but I probably took the foot off in terms of my preparation for games. When I was playing well and kind of scoring goals, it's something that I never really do, you know. And thinking back now, I did pay for it, but it's my own fault. You know what I mean? Like, I'd have a certain routine that I do, and say if you played on the Friday and the Monday, I'd do it on the Thursday, but I wouldn't do it the Sunday. You know what I mean? So I ended up paying for that. But yeah, it's like I said, like, I'm not promising that I'd play good every game, but I promise that I'll prepare right for every game and prepare myself right, you know what I mean?
I kind of have like short-term memory loss sometimes. I don't know if Adam asked you this already. I don't think so.
Well,
you asked me about the standard League of Ireland since you came back?
No.
Were you surprised by the standard League of Ireland since, like, coming back from America? Did you have
especially going as a kid watching the game?
You left the League of Ireland probably wasn't the, like, it had supporters and stuff, but wasn't like regarded as like a great league for football. Whereas coming back now, it's obviously gotten a lot more popular, more investment. Still a lot of work to do, obviously. Don't want to neglect that fact, but it has come a long way, I think, in the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Coming back, signing for St. Pat's, did you have an image in your head like, I could take me foot off the gas a bit here and play well, it'd be easier, or did you kind of know what you're getting into, and were you surprised by the level of the league?
No, not at all. That wasn't how I was thinking coming into it. I had watched games before. Like obviously Dan being one of my best mates, I'd watch Dan a lot with Rovers. I know a couple of the boys throughout the league. So I had a fair idea, and it's not a million miles away from Scotland in terms of like some games can get scrappy. So I was expecting that, you know. I was expecting that. It's very competitive. Like the only thing, like I've seen Damien Duff speak about facilities, like and funding and stuff. He's right though. You know what I mean? Like if something comes out, say some sort of funding comes for pitches, like the standard will go up again.
Yeah.
Like there's some serious players in this league with like good ability. Sometimes you're going, this isn't an excuse by the way, it's just it is what it is, reality, you know. Sometimes you're going to a pitch and you're bleeding, it's bouncing 40 times before the game. You know what I mean?
Car in the middle of the
It's mad, boys, but just little things like that would make it go through the roof, you know. Like you see yourself, like why teams kind of go to Tallaght and play all right. Like Cork went there, scored 4 goals. Because the surface, it's a big pitch with nice surface and it's easier to play.
Yeah.
But the standard is good though. Don't get me wrong. Like some of the goals, like I'd love seeing the goals of the year nominees to that end. Think myself.
Are you on there? Are you?
Elders? No, I don't think I made it. No,
you had a few good goals.
Yeah, you did. Nice free kick.
Yeah, but there was some serious goals.
Yeah.
And the standard is I think it's better than people think.
Yeah, it's mad some of the stats you hear in the League of Ireland of like prize money for winning the league versus prize money for just getting into Europe and drawing a match in Europe.
Is almost bigger.
That's it. It's like you need to be strategic and like, boys, we'll just shoot for Europe. Madness is like, you'll take it. It's crazy, and you look at the amount of young players, especially over the last few years, that Ireland's produced, and then obviously they've restructured the academies, so the way that lads can't go over now to England until they're 18, so they have to stick around the league unless they go foreign in Europe a bit longer, and then that breeds through the next crop of young, like even final the other day, the amount of like underage players who were on the pitch for Pats, few for Bows at the same time, like it's massive to see that next crop coming through, and then like Evan Ferguson even at Brighton, like doing bits like that. It's deadly to see the progression that's coming there, but if it's not being funded and you know they haven't got the resources to do it, it's just going to fizzle out and the league will start going backwards as opposed to progressing and moving forwards.
Like some of the young talent in the league is
madness.
Like it was on display in the final. Like you can see it for yourself. On both sides, So there's a lot of good young players. There's a lot of young players. Most of the league is young.
Yeah, it's a young league.
It is a young league. So I think the fact that they've nipped the England thing is a good thing. But like you said, like boys can still go to Europe and stuff. But in the long run, it's probably better for boys going at 17, 18 with 60, 80 games under their belt as opposed to like a club looking at a kid with potential, saying, "Oh, you might have a good whack at the first team." They're now looking at a kid who's got 80 games under his belt, who's saying, "Right, we can throw him into the first team," you know?
Big time.
It used to be like the players who at 11 or 12 look like they'll be great when they're 17 or 18 went to England, and then whatever was left ended up in the League of Ireland. Whereas nowadays it's like just let players develop in their home, like stay at home with their families, not taking them out of Ireland at 14.
Stay in school, finish that,
do all that, go through the ranks. If they're good enough in Ireland, break into the first team, and then if an English club says them from there, let them go. But at least there's like a viable path into the League of Ireland where you'll develop into a good player. So it is good. It's moving in the right direction, but definitely needs a lot more funding.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, you're right. It like the young lads that we have, like they're very they're just comfortable. You know what I mean? Like they're playing every week. They're living at home. That we've some very, very good young boys. Like I think will eventually move on and they will. But I think it's good that they're going to be here until maybe 18. Like you said, like now they're going away with 60 games.
That's it, the experience of that,
They're ready to go then into a first team.
Yeah, and I think a few lads already have done, like Dawson DeVoy went over.
Oh, there's so many,
that played for
Andy Lyons,
so a few
Danny Mandrew,
Evan Ferguson as well.
There's so many. Well, and on top of that fact, when me and Lee were growing up, and obviously you would have been growing up, like we would have been looking at lads like you, Dano, other players who went away when you were like 14, 15, you're like, right, if you're not gone by that age, you're fucked. It's over. So like when we reach 16, like we haven't even had a trial anywhere. So like football's in the bin. Yeah, this just isn't happening. Whereas at least now you can like watch and you'll see, these boys are 17, 18 and they're still in the league. They haven't gone abroad. Like the pathway is still open there. You know, it's not like if you haven't gone to X club or gone abroad by the age of 15, it's dead in the water and you might as well just give it up. So I think it opens up young kids' eyes then to see, like, actually, you know what? Because you have some kids who are 13 or 14 might just develop sooner, you know, hit puberty a few years earlier, are dominating the leagues, and then a few years later everyone else catches up and it kind of equalises things. But if you're only picking up the best ones at like 12 or 13 and then neglecting everyone else,
hits puberty the fastest.
It's like a race. Start injecting kids with testosterone at the age of 9 or something. So I think it opens up more doors, more pathways to hopefully give more opportunities to kids who maybe late developers or, you know, take longer just get that confidence to go into themselves, and as you say, can get games under their belt, play League of Ireland football, and then go and do whatever they want to do when they hit 18. And hopefully they'll have like an education as well, or another string to their bow, so they're not just clutching on to it's football or nothing here. Do you know that way? They have an extra perspective on life where it's like, I can go after this and if it works out great, but if it doesn't, it's not like fuck, life is done here. You know, there's
under the belt.
100%. Because I think it must be terrifying for someone going away that young and then knowing, right, if football doesn't work out, where do I go from here?
Because like, even if you're a successful footballer, not in the Premier League, so you probably make millions in the league. Successful in, I don't know, Scotland, League of Ireland, like you'll play until you're 35, 36. There's a lot of life left after those years, and if you have nothing behind you, or like, it can be daunting to think one day I'm going to retire and what am I going to do then? Like, how am I going to pay the bills? Is that something that crosses your mind much?
100%. Especially now that I have kids. It definitely does come across. Look, I'm 27, like, so I'd like to think, please God, that I've got a few more years, but
just go centre half.
Slowly start coming back there.
End up left back soon. But it definitely is something that crosses my mind there. I'm looking into things now.
What would be like some of the most common? Would it be coaching that most footballers would end up going into?
I think that's the route a lot of them go down there, is coaching, because like it's all like you said, like some people, like, they don't have an education or anything, so football's kind of all they know. So I think that's why a lot of footballers now just go straight into coaching, because
it's the next thing.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, football's kind of their bread and butter. That's all they've done.
It's like that with fighters too, boxers and stuff. Hang up the gloves and start coaching, because
it's all you've known the last 20 years. Is there anything in your mind aside from football? Is staying in football? Is that what you think you'll want to do, or is there anything else in your mind that you're interested in?
I don't know. If I was to stay in football, I'd like to go down the youth levels.
Right,
I don't know. In my mind, I'd like to kind of have a go at the property side of things as well. Like, me and my dad have a big interest in that as well. So me and him, we try to do a couple of projects together, or start somewhere, hopefully. And then see where it goes from there.
Well, if you have any cheap gaffs going, let us
know. Something we didn't ask you about, spoke about your family as in yourself, Aoife, and the kids, but growing up, the family would have had how many, like, brothers or sisters did you have growing up?
I had a little sister who lived with me in Dublin, Tia, and then I had a brother and sister on my dad's side over in England.
So had your mum and dad been separated from as long as you know?
So as long as I know,
All right, interesting. Did you, and I know this is like a weird question, but did you feel as you were growing up somewhat of a father figure almost for your little sister?
I was very protective of her, like, young. Like, I was, but I had an uncle who was around, so he was kind of like the father figure for both of us. But I did feel like that. I felt like I had to kind of be, because there was no one else, you know.
Yeah, the maturity that comes with that, and then the experiences in England and all the way through that carries on, man. It's been one mad journey.
It has been, thank God.
It's not over yet, though.
Still a bit of life left in them. Still a bit of life. One question actually that stuck with me from a previous guest was Kenneth Deegan, who was our first guest on the podcast, because he spoke about being in the Olympics, getting a silver medal, and then coming back and like, right, what the fuck do I do from here? And he said the question he left to ask the guest who was on after him was, what's your 5-year plan? Where do you see yourself after that? Now, I'm assuming you still want to be playing ball for the next 5 years, so it may not be in that, but like, big picture after football, whether it's in coaching or in property or wherever else you go, once football, let's say we've drawn a line in the sand and that, and you're not Jake Mulraney, the footballer anymore, what kind of, I don't know, impact or legacy would you like to leave after football?
I don't know. I think I'd go down the route with my faith. You know what I mean? Like to kind of show people kind of that route is a good route. You know what I mean? In any way I can, really. Like I remember speaking to a couple of kids who were going through a tough time in America about it. And I remember not long ago, well, a couple of months back, a kid reaching out and saying like that he was, I think he was 4 or 5 months into his journey now with God, and he said it helped him out a lot. So I'd like to dabble down that route as well, that kind of legacy in terms of like you said, like I'm Jake the footballer for 10, 15 years, and no one gives a shit anymore after that. You know what I mean? So
as long as you have that medal around you, people walk around Inchicore.
Yeah, exactly. So look,
you'll never pay for a point in Inchicore.
Yeah. Jake the alcoholic. How did you actually get? I know you spoke about the relationship with God. Like, where did that start for you? Was that always been there, or is it something you picked up?
Yeah, my nanny was. She used to go to mass all the time.
Mm-hmm.
She was on mass every Sunday, so she was kind of the first where I kind of picked up on it.
Yeah.
Then when I went to Scotland, I kind of found a new way of faith. Like I was like a Catholic and really strong, and like in terms of superstition, and then I just started going to like a Christian church. I found it a lot more relaxing, a lot more like people think, oh, you have to follow this rule, that rule.
Yeah.
It's not, you know what I mean? Like some people think, my mates think I'm bleeding weirdo.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because I have faith in a fella who lived 2,000 years ago, who said he's God's son, you know what I mean? But that's what I believe. You know what I mean? I believe that. And look, it's just how I am now, yeah.
You want to ask more questions on faith, or can I ask my...
No, you can go.
It's not that weird a question, actually. Right, so if you were to have a son and you wanted to be a footballer, would you advise him against it, or would you, everything you've been through, would you encourage him down that path? Or?
It's a good question, actually. Yeah, that's a very good question to think.
Took me a long time to think of that one.
It's only been like an hour and a half to think of it.
I would like him, because like I said, like that, at the moment football's kind of all I know as well, you know, in terms... Yeah,
you see like a lot of fighters and stuff, they'd be like, I'd never want my kids to get into this, like the damage you take and everything else.
I understand that, so he's like, I'm broke up. You know, fair enough, football.
He's like 6 and a little prick, like, actually, no, you're getting into it.
Football, I would. Because there's a lot of good. You know what I mean? Like, there is obviously ups and downs, there's a lot of ups and downs, but like I said, like we spoke about it at the start, it's a great job. When you're training every day, it's a fantastic job, even with the lows. I think I would like him to play his garden, and I could just advise him kind of what we've been through, or that kind of stuff, and just go from there.
Did you have like a mentor or anyone who was guiding you along the way, coming up, making it into the academies, etc., or was it kind of figuring out as you went along? You know,
they would always come across like players that, like older boys that would look after the young boys. There's always a few in change rooms, always. Everywhere I've gone, I think QPR, Forest, Andy Reid was good at Forest. Inverness, there was a few good lads as well. Hearts, there was good lads. It was like Stephen Naismith was brilliant for it. He was good at looking after the young guys. He'd always kind of help. You know what I mean? Like always. Like that's one thing. Like I done it 5-a-side, me 3 and 5-a-side, and I put him in it, and someone's like, but it's not just his football. It's how he is. Like he's a gaffer now. Actually.
Oh, is he?
But he's I'm not surprised because it's just how he is. You know what I mean? I don't know what he's like as a gaffer, but as a player, like he just raised everyone's standards. And if someone needed the arm, he'd give the arm around the shoulder. If someone needed built the hole, he'd built them with the hole. He was probably the best I've seen for that. Yeah.
Deadly man. Closing tradition.
I'm trying to think if I have any more. Anytime we'll finish up and then another question.
I do have a question just from a young 6-year-old me who was always like, footballers. What does a day in the life of a professional footballer look like? Like in season, so you've training games to prepare for. Like, what would just a normal day look like?
Here in Ireland, it's different.
It's different
where it was previous. Like in Orlando, I'd be up go in, have breakfast, physio, for whatever you need, chill out for a while, go out, train. In Orlando, we trained for nearly 2.5 hours, 2 hours.
In that heat, yeah.
But the heat, that was, the heat, horrible. But then you'd be done, you might have a gym session after. You'd be done, probably 1 o'clock, 1:30, go in, recover. If you need a massage, or go in the cold tubs or stretch or whatever you need to do, like, do that side of it. And then you're home for 1 o'clock, and you do that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then you play Saturday, and then you're off Sunday. But here it's a little bit different. And train Monday, off Tuesday, double Monday, off Tuesday, double Wednesday, right. Train Thursday, play Friday, recovery Saturday, off Sunday. So that's the kind of routine that we have here at that patch.
That's deadly. And is there any days that you're waking up like, oh bollocks, gonna be a rough day today, or anyone's?
Do you know what actually hit? Because I came back in obviously December, January, so coming back and a bit of cold was like freezing cold. From being in like the heat in Orlando to the cold
one
here.
extreme to the next.
Exactly. But now I enjoy training the group. I like going in. There's a good change room there at Patch. Good bit of banter. Great lads, good coaches, good people around the place. So I actually genuinely look forward to going into training. I like training.
Deadly.
So there's no real.
Yeah, you don't have those
there's
fears
no bad
on a Sunday night. Like,
exactly. There's no bad buzz at all, really.
Quality.
What are you like? Like, cause obviously coming up, you're the young players trying to break through, and the older players will put their arm around your shoulder and stuff. Pat's team now, like Sam Curtis is 17, 18. There's a lot of young lads on the team, and you're probably one of the older lads in terms of have a lot of experience playing first team football and stuff like that. What are you like with the younger lads? Would you be like actively encouraging them and like taking an interest in their development, or do you kind of just step aside and let them do that thing?
Yeah, definitely. I get on great with the young lads. Like, I'm close with Sam. Like, Sam's a good lad, very good lad. I have a lot of time with Sam. And when I first came in, like, you could tell that he's like, I think he's 17 when I first came in. So he's only, I think he's 18 December. I think, can't remember. But like, I could see like that. I can see why people are talking about him.
Yeah.
And my kind of first glimpse. Like we spoke about it through the whole season, like his improvement. We speak all the time in his crossing. So that's one thing that me and him speak about all the time. And like, if I give him a bit of advice, like sometimes he'll listen, sometimes he won't.
Yeah.
I don't expect anyone really to listen to me or that, but sometimes he doesn't. In fairness to him, he's improved massively that side of it.
What sort of tips are you giving him?
No, just like, because when I was younger, my cross was pony. Like, I was terrible. Like I said, all I
just
cared about was beating the player.
Yeah.
So I had to work very, very hard on my crossing. And then when I got to America, my kind of game was crossing then at the end of it. So, I don't know, I just, like I say, like, just through my own experiences, like, I'd say to him, like, I don't know, like, a different technique or a forced touch or something, like that's actually a few months ago when we were doing a crossing and thing, and his forced touch was messing up his crossing. I'd say to him, and he just threw his hand up. I said, Sam, I'm talking to you. Now, like, he's like my little brother. You know what I mean? Like, that's what me and him are like. But sometimes he does listen, and in fairness to him, going forward, he's improved a lot.
Nice. Who would you be like closest with in the dressing room? Or is there a couple of lads, like, do you have little groups in it, or are you all just mates with each other?
We're all sound with each other. Yeah, there's no bad people. There's no, like, some boys will go off and do something together, and some boys might go off and do something else together. But there's no arseholes or anything. It's just a good solid group. Even like, we have a physio called Christy who's there years, and he's just like a buzz around the gap and all. Like, even all the staff get on with the players, and it's just like, it's just a good vibe. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good group. Like, even though it's very young, it's still like a solid group. Like,
Did you have any experiences with other teams where there wasn't that positive vibe, let's say, in the group? Yeah, or anything like that. Yeah. I'd say actually younger ages, like, say playing for Forest or anything like that, as kids where you're kind of teammates but you're kind of not teammates, so you're kind of battling against each other for the contract or for an extra year, an extension at the end of the season. Like, I'd say that can get a bit hostile.
Yeah, it gets toxic then. It does get a bit sticky when you're young, because because like you said, like you're fighting for a contract. You don't want the other players to do well. They don't want you to do well. You know what I mean? Like that's how it is as a kid. Like, and I've grown out of that now since
of course,
you get older, obviously. But yeah, the change room in America was a bit cliquey now.
Really, yeah.
But that was only because of lingo, like
the language
barrier.
It's the barrier, yeah.
But in fairness, like a couple of my closest mates, I had to talk to through Google Translate. Really? So like saying that, like some were all right, and some just you'd never really speak to, just because you don't speak the language that well, you know, and you just. But here, the changing room's probably the best one I've been in. Yeah.
Really, yeah.
Yeah.
I think 2 more questions.
Crack on.
Close it, right?
Crack on.
First question is, because I only think about this, if I was like, Dano was one of your closest mates.
Yeah.
And obviously, you are Pats, he's at Rovers. What's it like playing against one of your closest? Because like, if I had to play a match against Adam nowadays, I couldn't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't go for a 50-50 with him or slowly tackle him around. Do you know
You had to dribble past, just like pretend I'm trying to tackle him, but like
There's zero love there.
Yeah.
That's been out straight. Like, no. Like, the last game he played, like, he broke me up twice, and people are saying, like, why is that? Came out with a black eye, actually. Caught Dan's elbow, and people, like, taking the piss now, but no one cares. Like, me and him are there to win a game of football. I want Pats to win, he wants Rovers to win. Like, if he has to break me up to make sure that happens, he'll do it. I'm telling you, we might do a little something, take the piss, like, I might stand on him, or no, like, just as mates, but when it comes to, like, if I'm running at him, I don't care if I make him look like a dog to make sure Pats win, and he doesn't care if he has to upend me to make sure Rovers win. So that's just how it is, like, but after it, like, it's all love then after.
I think it was Marino, as he said, for 90 minutes I have no friends or something like that.
It is what it is. Like, even my sister's fella, he plays for Shells, Tyreek, and it's a shame there. Like, I'd sit my mask out with him, and chat for a few hours, and the day after we're trying to break each other up. So it is what it is.
That's gas. The second question I had then, you may have answered it already. What's been your favourite moment in football so far?
Do you know what?
Probably not sleeping at the bus stop. But.
No, that wasn't great. No, probably Sunday, boys. If I'm honest, like, that's what I said to me missus. Like, it was a weird one. Like, I was saying to her, like, I'm on a mad weird downer buzz the past couple of days, and she said, "Why?" I don't know. Like, maybe because the season's done, I'm not in a routine. And then she said, maybe because Sunday was so good, like that. That's probably why.
There's only one way down after that.
Down after, and it makes sense. And thinking of it like that, it does make sense, yeah. But Sunday was class. Just probably because my family there, the atmosphere. It's a huge game on the Irish calendar. Just everything in a whole. That was probably the best, I'd say. Yeah, it's quality.
Quality, man. Quality. Ready? So for our closing tradition, we're going to ask you to leave a question, and we'll ask the next guest who's on the podcast then this question at the start. So any question, there doesn't have to be about Anton specifically. Obviously yours was what was the one we asked him again? How do you want to make a difference? How are you going to make a difference? So it can be very open-ended, whatever you want to ask. What's the question?
It's hard when you're on the spot, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. I'll go with how will you deal with setbacks? How do you deal with setbacks? I don't know if you've had that before.
We didn't. No, we didn't.
Right, I'll stick with that then. Stick with that.
How would you swing in this cross? Love it. How will you deal with setbacks? I think it's a...
Who's our next guest? That's going to be a tough question. Good question.
Very good question. Very good question. Before we wrap up, Jayden, do you want to ask a question, and you'd like to?
No.
You sure?
We have a little brother, Jayden, beside us. Big Pats fan. He's just a bit starstruck at the moment.
All good then. All good. Jake, thank you very much for coming on, man, for opening up, sharing your story, the ups and downs, and not holding that back. It's been a pleasure to be on the other end of the conversation, and I'm sure people are going to get so much from listening. So congratulations again. Thanks for coming in, and we'll be keeping an eye out for you next season, supporting you.
Pleasure, boys. Thank you very much. Thank you, boys.